Hey guys, welcome to Pota 103, activation and tips and tricks. That's right here, right now on Ham Radio for Non-Techies. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the channel. This is Ham Radio for Non-Techies, where we try to simplify the ham radio hobby to get you to study, pass, and get on the air as quickly as possible with the least amount of problems, the least amount of bad habits learned. So this past weekend, I went out and did a Pota activation. Mike, K at MRD, over at K at MRD Radio Stuff, and a couple others got together, and we went to the Huntsville State Park here in Texas and did a Pota activation. And we had a really good time. There were about 10 of us out there at the peak of the day. We had about 10 people out there, and it was a lot of fun. Mike, of course, jumped right in with his Pota King skills, his mad skills in Pota activation, and got the parks activated pretty quickly, or at least he got his stuff done pretty quickly. And, you know, as the day went by, more and more people jumped in and got parks activated. I think we had about four or five other people that were out there that had never done park activations, including myself. And by the end of the day, we had all activated the park in some way, shape, or form. So it was really kind of cool. It was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot of cool things about it. And I wanted to kind of go over some of those things. First of all, as far as equipment goes, I covered this in my previous one. I think the Pota 102 or 101. I talked about a little bit about, you know, what you should have and what things to consider bringing out with you. I talk about, like, you know, having water for hydration, maybe some snacks. If you're out in the middle of a park, there's probably not going to be any, you know, stores nearby. So that can be a little inconvenient and be a lot easier just to bring stuff with you. So the other thing I was going to say is have extra coax cable. You know, you never know. You have coax all over your house, or you have it in your gear kits, whatever. You never really know if you don't use it all the time, what's working, what's not. And the worst time to find out is when you're out in the field, hook it up and realize you got a break and can't fix it on the spot. Connection adapters. Another little thing you should make sure you have, because, you know, I've got a lot of antennas that are BNC connected, and I got some that are SO239. So it's good to have, since all my cables are either BNC or SO239. If I don't have a certain cable with me, it's always good to have the adapters to go from one to the other. That way you're not limited by what you can connect and use out in the field. And of course, I did talk about this before, have more than one antenna. Now, it's really cool because out when we were doing the Pota thing with Mike, he actually brought out his GX Commander Expedition, and he had the Chameleon Child Left's lightweight end-fed sloper. Oh, never pronounced that thing. And then a couple other guys brought out the Buddy Pole, or the Buddy Stick Pro, and we had a KM4ACK out there. We had the Pac-10 end-fed half-wave out there. There's all kinds of options for things, but the ones we mainly used were we had the DX Commander, the Chameleon, and the Buddy Stick Pro were the three we were running the whole day. They both brought out their 7300s. I thought we were going to really be playing more with the 705s, doing more QRP type stuff, which is really what I was kind of interested in getting in and trying to do and mess around with. And I brought my radio. I just never hooked it up. I wanted to bring it out and kind of show them what I'd come up with, and the, you know, different stuff that I'd done for mine. And I'll do a video on that later. But we ran all those things, and I think Shane, this side of the radio, he was out there with us, and he was running at 50 watts to conserve battery power. I'm not sure if he didn't have a solar power recharging ability or tools or equipment, whatever. But Mike brought the whole gamut. He brought everything out. So we had no problem running that. Plus, he's running some massive batteries out there. So we were good all day long, and never had any issues. I had brought out one of my antennas. I purchased that 10 antenna that he recommended a while back. Really cool antenna. It was like $39 for the. I got the bigger one of the two. I was a smaller one for like QRP, and then a larger one for everything else. And I got the larger one just to have it. But we measured out the wire for that and hooked up to the analyzer and got it all tuned up and ready to go. We had to kind of make a couple compromises, but you know what? I'm happy with what it was set at. I can live with it. And worst case scenario, if I have to, although I am trying to not use tuners anymore, I can always grab my big Go box, which has a tuner built in, and just tune it up. But we got the SWR pretty low on that, and that was fine. The one thing I wanted to cover, I'm just going to cover for just a second, because I want to give these people a whole lot of light because of what they do. But we have what I call anti-Pota idiots. And we were on the radio, and we'd found a nice clear frequency, and we were trying to, you know, call out CQ to get the activations, get people to respond to us and stuff. And there's this moron somewhere in the world who's just sitting on the thing, and he's moaning. He's keyed up his mic, and he's just moaning into the microphone, trying to just block us from getting what we had to get, what we want to get done. And he's just continuously doing this. I mean, look, what is your problem? What kind of an idiot, what kind of a selfish piece of crap would do that on the radio? First of all, it's illegal, SOB. You hear me? Illegal. So knock it off. Secondly, if you don't like Pota, fine. There's a whole bunch of other frequencies you can get on. But if you're going to continually do this kind of stuff and discourage other hams from having fun, I suggest you take your ham license, you rip it up, go sell all your radios and get out of the hobby. You're too stupid to be in ham radio if you're going to treat people like that. There's no room for you in this hobby if that's what you're going to do. That's all I want to say. That's it. I'm good. I just had to get it out. I have a tendency to speak my mind, and that was one thing that just kind of ticked me off. And it's like, you really can't do anything about it, but you know, it's just rude. There's no reason to be rude. But I'm not going to acknowledge these people anymore. If I hear you on the radio doing that, I'm not going to acknowledge you. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to keep doing my thing, and you can kiss my you-know-what. Okay, so going back to the happier part of Pota, one of the other things I found is that it's even better to do this when you have a bunch of people with you. I had a lot of fun. I mean, we met some new people, and I got to hang out with some of the other YouTubers. That was a fantastic time, and it just made the whole day just more fun. When we weren't actually on the radio doing the Pota stuff, we were able to sit around and talk and discuss different equipment, different things. And it's nice to be able to bounce ideas off each other and just have a great time and just make new friends. And I met a lot of cool people out there this weekend. Everybody showed up. I really thank you guys for showing up. It was great to meet some of the new people out there. It was great seeing some of the older people that I'd met before. So a couple little things. If you want to, this is more of a joke than anything. If you want to really get your Pota activations to work, you need to be wearing a K8 MRD shirt. And apparently it adds 6 dB to your signal, and you're rocking and rolling. There was something cool because when Mike was out there, when we first got on there, when he first got on the radio, he was making some contacts here and there. Then we kind of had a couple dead moments. Then all of a sudden the pileup started happening, and within I'd say about an hour. It might have been an hour, maybe a little bit longer. He had already racked up like 60-something contacts. I mean, he was just going at it. Met a lot of good people on the air as well. He got a couple good contacts, a couple DX contacts, which is really awesome. Always awesome to hear that. But yeah, wear a K8 MRD shirt if you want to really have success in doing your Pota stuff. One of the other things we tried, and this is something I thought about because we're getting ready to do some stuff with one of my buddies here, and we want to bring out 2 radios and do something similar at one of the parks closer by where I am. And what we tried out at the park in Huntsville, we had one of the radios was on 20, one was on 40. And we were about maybe 50, 60, 70 feet apart. It wasn't too big of a distance, but it wasn't like we were right next to each other. But we didn't really see any major interference if one radio was working 40, the other one was working 20. But occasionally you'd have little mess ups and things. So one of the other things I would consider bringing out with you if you're going to be doing this and have more than one radio is maybe consider bringing out some bandpass filters. And I say that because if you're going to be, sometimes not all the bands are great, and maybe you both want to work on 20, but you want to work 2 separate radios. Well, having a bandpass filter for 20 meters on both radios would probably help resolve that. And I'm currently researching this right now. I'm researching how to build bandpass filters. I know you can buy them. They're about $120 to $150 a piece. But if you got to buy one for each radio and one for each band, that can add up really, really quickly and become very expensive. So we're going to figure out a way. I got some friends of mine that are helping me research, and we're going to figure out a way to make these things, because there's nothing more than just a bunch of toroids wrapped up inside of a little box and just configured a certain way. So we're going to get that all figured out. We're going to do some videos, get you guys the plans for that so you can build your own bandpass filters if you want to bring out multiple radios, or if you just want to have them just for the heck of having them. The problem I've found so far is nobody's done any videos on them. Nobody's brought like a, and I get the fact that you can get plans or like people written articles about them. But what I want is, we're going to make this bandpass filter. Here's the parts list. Here's where they go. Here's how to build it. Have a nice day. I don't need the background information, the history of it. Again, this goes back to, I try to simplify the hobby a little bit. I want the straight dope on how to do these things and how to build these things and just get on with my life. If I want to go back and research it, that's my prerogative later on down the road. Right now, I just need the equipment, and I don't want to spend $140 or $130 on each bandpass filter. So that's just something I might want to consider. The bandpass filters are going to be a great thing, and I found that from our club, we can actually borrow the ones they've got and try and just, you know, use them for testing or something, which is also pretty cool. So we'll give that a shot. Other than that, I'm trying to think. That's all the stuff I had written down for my thing here. Tell you what we're going to do, let's cut away. I've got just a couple little bits of video that I shot that day when we were out there, just having fun with the guys. Let's cut to that scene there real quick, and we'll come back for final thoughts.
Well, good morning. I'm up at the butt crack of dawn and came out to the Huntsville State Park to participate in the Pota activations out here. And got a couple familiar faces out here. You might recognize a couple of these guys here. We'll give it a second. And I'll pop over there.
Well, looky there. Hi, everybody.
I don't want to disturb them while they're doing their thing there, but we've got some, Mike got his parked activation done in like, I don't know, 15 minutes. It was kind of rough at first, and then just went off and did it. So we'll be out here all day, and we're going to get some, got the parked activated already. I haven't, but he has. And we're just going to play around the radio today and just have a lot of fun. And enjoy being out in the fresh air.
Thank you for hunting, 73 QRZ. Whiskey 5, golf something.
Whiskey 5, Golf Delta Whiskey, Mike 5959, North Carolina.
Roger the 59, North Carolina. Got you about a 5x5 in Texas.
Roger, Roger. It's weird hearing you in Texas. I'm used to hearing Michigan. Have fun down there, 7-3.
I know, I'm starting to talk like them now. It's weird.
Oh, yeah. The tacos, though. Tacos.
I have had a few tacos now, though. Thanks for hunting in 73.
7-3.
So I'm here with a couple of jokers, and we're back at the park again. We're still activating, getting some good contacts on 20 and on 40. And just want to come over here and pop over where these other Goombas are doing their thing here. See if we can get some.
No. Sideman, your part, put K, 30, K-3.
Doing a first Pota activation.
But they count the
And then you're not running a club car. So your information is complete. So now, when you get ready, when they call you back, you'll enter their information right there.
Mike, do I need to hit anything after I enter it?
You hit save and then go to the next.
Ain't it logged? They had 3 of them.
So yeah, we're just having a lot of fun out here, doing the activations, just having a great old time, getting to meet some new people, meet some other people I've met before. But it's always fun when you're hamming it up, I guess. So we're gonna keep rocking and rolling, and I'll get back with you guys a little bit. Stay tuned.
So yeah, I probably should have shot a little bit more video out there, but I was having so much fun hanging out with the guys and learning stuff and getting practice with these things and actually doing the activations that I didn't really think about, you know, shooting a whole lot of footage. In the future, maybe I'll focus more on that one. Maybe when I'm doing my own little gig, I'll have more cameras out there and do more setup and things like that. But it was just really cool because we were able, you know, having other experienced hams out there with me still being very new. Me and my buddy both went out there, and he's also a relatively new ham. He was in a couple months before me. But it was really cool to have those resources out there and be able to, you know, ask questions and get answers to stuff and kind of just, you know, bounce ideas. It's one thing to text things or to, you know, to email somebody about something or go on a message board. But when you can actually just have a two-way conversation right then and there and just kind of remember what they're talking about and get the information that you need, I think that benefits you a whole lot better. So, you know, like I said before, I encourage you guys to bring out extra people with you and just have just and nothing else, have the camaraderie within the hobby, right? I mean, hang out with the other hams. We are a unique breed, and we're all cool to hang out with. So, yeah, we had Don N5 SKT out there, Shane from this side of the radio, Kate MRD, my buddy W5 LIC, Anthony was out there. And we had a couple other people out there. I'm sorry, I don't remember all your call signs. Everything was kind of a blur that day, but we had a really good time. Despite the one little issue that I discussed earlier, everything else was great. There is one other point that I wanted to kind of touch on here. When we were calling CQ, or at least when I was doing mine, I had pre-recorded my message on the 7300, the 705, and the 891, all offer the opportunity to pre-record a message. I find that to be invaluable, because otherwise you're going to be sitting there, you're going to be calling out CQ Pota, and you're doing this whole little spiel the whole time. And what I noticed is when I first got on the radio, because apparently if you're going to do this, you know, early in the morning is probably the better time to get this really going. I had kind of hit it towards the end of the day before we left. But when I was trying to activate and I was calling out CQ and I had the little recording, I had to hit that recording over and over and over and over before I got somebody to come through. And there's also a feature on the 7300, I'm sure it's the same on the 705, where if you hold down your pre-recorded message, you can set it for a certain time interval, so it'll just repeat itself with a 5-second break in between the message. But it's a really important thing to do, because otherwise you're sitting there and you're going to just be holding the mic the whole time and keying up and CQ Pota, this is so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And just having it pre-recorded like that is really convenient. Might be a little lazy, but you know what? It really helps. And I think I had to press that button quite a few. I didn't set it for the auto repeat all the time. I had it on a couple of moments where I had auto repeat there, but most of the time I played the message, wait, see if I hear anything, play the message again, just keep going that way. But it took, 15, 20 times of running that before somebody picked up. Then when they picked up, I was able to write, type in their call sign and make the contact. So that was really cool. So yeah, I do suggest if you're going to do this, make sure you've got some kind of a radio just for the, you might not have the resources for this. That's fine. But if you do have a radio that will pre-record a message for you and let you just call CQ that way, it's going to save your voice and it's going to make it a lot less monotonous when you're out there making contacts. We had just a good time. Everybody got activated. You saw in the video there a minute ago, one of the other guys was really new, had never done an activation before. He was just, going along, and he got it done. He got his activation, and he started getting into it. I mean, at first, he was, you freak out a little bit when you first start doing activations, especially if you haven't been on the radio a whole lot. It's a new thing. You tend to, freak out a little bit. But after about the second or third time, he picked it right up. I mean, he was just rocking and rolling with it. So that was really cool. And I think I found a new thing that I like to do in ham radio, and I'm going to continue doing it as much as I can. This is a lot of fun. You get to play with all your toys. You spend all this money on all these radios and antennas and stuff like that. This gives you a chance to go out there and figure out ways to set them up and test it out and play with your stuff and just have a really good time with it. So I would just highly suggest, if you're interested in doing Pota, grab your radio, grab your antennas, grab your gear, get out there and just do it. Go find a state park or a national park somewhere that's on the Pota designated maps, and just go have fun with this. I mean, I think aside from just getting the fresh air, which we all probably need right now to clear our heads and just get away from the city and all the news and all the garbage that constantly, pounds us into the dirt all the time, I think that getting out there and just having fun and doing the stuff will benefit you. It'll benefit you mentally. It'll benefit you physically if you end up doing some hiking stuff. And just go have fun with it. Anywho, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did so, please give me a thumbs up. Always remember to hit the subscribe button down below and click on the little bell to be notified when I do new videos. Until then, guys, this is Ham Radio for Non-Techies. I hope you have a great day, and we are clear.